Emperor Napoleon. Wherever French cavalry hooves trod, laws were transformed, thrones tottered, and old swords and old orders were forced to gaze upon their own reflections in the mirror of the conqueror's victory. He built his empire not solely with artillery. He built it also with law, with reform, and with the will to mold a new world from the rubble of the old. The code that bears his name has, for this reason, outlived many battles. For there are victories that exist only on the battlefield, and there are victories that weave themselves into the very fabric of the people's lives. Yet, alas, the higher a man ascends, the more easily he comes to believe that there is no horizon he cannot cross. The continental system sought to blockade Britain. Spain rose in revolt, and the fires of war, once burning beyond the borders, began to creep back into the very heart of the empire. Spain became a festering, slow-bleeding wound, not a sudden, blazing conflagration like a great war, but a persistent, insidious malady that, the longer it lingered, the more it gnawed away at the vitality of a hegemon. Then came Russia, a door of destiny opening amidst the boundless snowfields. He marched his grand army forward as if dragging the very glory of Europe into the heart of a white storm. Moscow burned, painting the sky crimson. Yet those flames could offer no warmth to the retreat route during that merciless winter. Frost, starvation, and the grueling march. One by one, these elements coalesced into an invisible army far more formidable than any of the Tsar's cavalry. Upon returning from Russia, the empire still bore its name, yet its very bones were fractured. Leipzig erupted like a naval battle fought on land, a clash where the dynasties of Europe joined forces to drive the man who had once made the continent tremble back from his untouchable pedestal. Paris fell, the throne shattered, and the emperor was forced to depart the continent like a falcon with clipped wings, yet one whose eyes still fixed upon the heavens refused to let the fire be extinguished. Elba was but a tiny island, yet it was too small to contain a heart that had grown accustomed to the thunder of cannons rather than the murmur of the waves. And so he returned a mere 100 days, brief yet blazing like a dying ember, flaring up one last time, compelled France to lift its head once more, listening to the sound of familiar footsteps returning from the mists. Alas, it is often said that destiny knocks but once. For Napoleon, however, it returned for a second round, as if to ask whether he was truly ready to bow his head in submission. Waterloo was the final answer. There, amidst the rain and mud, lay delays, the hand of fate, the tenacity of his adversaries, and the ultimate limit, a boundary that even a military genius could not forever transcend. That single defeat closed the book on more than just a military campaign. It brought an end to the very dream of bending the arc of history to one's own will through sheer force of individual will. From that moment on, St. Helena, a speck of land lost amidst the dark ocean, became the place of exile for the man who had once stood at the very heart of Europe. Like a sun that chose its own hour to rise there, the drums of war fell silent, the banners no longer flew. There remained only the sea breeze, the cold stone, his memories, and a solitary figure sitting amidst the desolation, looking back upon his life as one might gaze upon a battle-scarred sword, his blade now chipped and worn. Those who condemned him as a tyrant were not entirely wrong, nor were those who hailed him as a hero entirely mistaken. For a man like Napoleon defies definition within the confines of a single fleeting judgment. He was a true son of the revolution, yet he was also the one who placed the crown back upon the head of an empire. He dismantled the old order only to erect in its place a power even more incandescent than the very structures he had toppled. Looking back upon his entire life, one beholds glories as towering as mountains and errors as deep as the ocean. Yet, standing steadfast between those two extremes, there remains an indomitable will, a force rarely witnessed in the annals of human history. In closing this chapter, let me offer a final thought. The reason Emperor Napoleon remains a name echoed through the ages is precisely that he dared to pit a single lifetime against the entirety of Europe. Even though his throne ultimately dissolved into the sea winds, his figure still stands amidst the annals of history, like a flame so vivid that no one who gazes upon it could ever forget.